So, I held this presentation on the third Bitcoin Cash anniversary on the 1st of August about be.cash, some updates, some cool products and developments that we've been able to do. And yeah, I think I just re-recorded and so you guys can watch it in all its beauty. So, be.cash, what is be.cash? We have a payment card, so this is a prototype of that, and an NFC app. And the NFC app can actually also be used as a point of sales. So yeah, I think I'll just give you a demo real quick on that. So let me move that there. And let's do it like this. So this card, yeah, we should probably fund it a bit on there. So we change to the charge tab on the point of sales. We tap it here, we get a QR code for SLP. So we will fund USDH this on this wallet. Yeah, so let's send. I use the bitcoin.com wallet. I will scan the QR code. I will pick USDH. Let's send like 3. Continue. Is this on there? Like this. It will be sent. The point of sales detected the payment, but we still have to tap it again. Payment succeeded. And yeah, now the customer leaves the store and stuff, goes to a different store, and now he can pay with be.cash. So let's say he pays for €2. This is euros, a bit less than $3. And yeah, and this would be the phone of the merchant. So they have that at home or something. I don't know. The customer taps the point of sales, and the funds will be received. Oh, you can actually see that. Oh yeah, the payment went through. Some honest coin were sent, and yeah, that's it. So let's go back to the presentation real quick. Got my microphone, got my presentation. So the big question everybody's asking is, why isn't crypto used in commerce everywhere already? So what is holding it back, especially brick and mortar stores? Like, why are we still stuck with $30 US, I guess? So for that, we have to look at the average Joe, and for him, we have to solve problems, and we have to meet his expectations. So if we just solve his problems, but we don't really meet his expectations, he won't use it. So I don't know. For example, HP was the first to invent the touchscreen, but didn't meet the expectations of the people, so it didn't get used. So we have to solve problems. For that, Bitcoin Cash has faster, cheaper, and more reliable payments than existing infrastructure. So yeah, we are faster. We only need like 1 to 2 seconds of broadcast. However, it still was much slower to pay with the phone than with the point of sales with the card, because you just had to scan a QR code. Maybe it doesn't focus. Yeah, it's generally a bit slower than paying with credit cards, especially if you pay with NFC. Cheaper. Yeah, we are much cheaper. We only have like 0.1 dollar cents of a minor fee usually. We don't have any monthly fees. We don't have any monthly fees. We can have loyalty SLP rewards with HoneyPay, for example. However, it's still the customer pays the fees. So Romit from the Zapit wallet actually said for him it's pretty difficult to adopt Bitcoin Cash, because people are like, okay, wait, so I still pay a fee? Because for them it feels like the payment is free always. And more reliable. We are 24/7 online. However, it's like still people lose coins. It happens, and I think we have to address that. So meet expectations. I think this will be a bit harder to achieve. So people are used to card payments. The payments have to be offline. I don't want to check my phone before I go out if I actually have internet and stuff. If I want to pay with stuff, like people aren't used to that. They're used to accounts, so something that is tied to their identity. And that they log in and stuff. Decimal numbers, yeah, people are used to decimal numbers. I mean, we use decimal number system. Unit of account, they're used to the dollar as unit of account. They are used to no fee, so that payments are free for them at least. The merchants are fine with paying a fee, but customers usually don't. Recurrent payments. So, for example, I am using YouTube Premium, and that just gets deducted every month, and my bank handles that. I don't have to do anything. It's very convenient, and I think we also need that for crypto. So chargebacks, so sometimes for example, I sent money to the wrong IBAN number, like the wrong bank wire number, and they just send it back. There was no issue with that. I mean, it took a while because it's the legacy finance system, but it was possible, and it's still better to get the money than just have it sunk in a black hole. So how does Bitcoin Cash stack against this? Card payments, we don't have card payments. We only have QR codes mostly, and I mean, especially for Bitcoin Cash, we only have QR codes, and they're kind of cumbersome. What if they don't focus? You have to put out your phone, you have to open the app, and so forth. Cards are much more convenient in that front. Offline, if you don't have service, you can't pay. This is literally what happened to me in Australia at the Bitcoin Cash City conference, and I had to ask other people if I could use their internet for a second just to make the payment, which is bad. That's really bad. And and sometimes it just paid with credit card. What am I supposed to do? Especially if they don't have Wi-Fi there. Accounts, we don't have accounts. We have wallets, and I think that's still a bit of a step up from like a mental change. We have web wallets, software wallets, cold wallets, paper wallets, brain wallets, and hardware wallets, and they are just very different from what people are used to. Decimal numbers, we don't have decimal numbers. Need I say more? That's the that's what we have to deal with. It looks kind of scary. So every if you look at the credit card, literally everything that's on there is either a number or something that's actually human readable. So nothing like that, and it's kind of scary. And people won't accept this. Most people are like, okay, what the heck is this? Is this some kind of secret code, or did something wrong happen? Unit of account, we are very volatile, and we're not a unit of account, so the value is up and down. And if you ask people what's the price of Bitcoin Cash, then they will not say, oh yeah, it's 1 Bitcoin Cash, or that's kind of a dumb question. They will say, yeah, it's, I don't know, 300 something US dollars. No fee. There's some fee. Admittedly, it's very small, but it is there. Recurrent payments, we don't have them. I mean, there is the Mecenas thing from Karol Czeszkowski, but even he himself is like, okay, it kind of lacks the user experience you would want to have if you if it really should be adopted by the masses. Chargebacks, no, that's a very scary thing. If you send the money to the wrong address, I just recently had to send a bunch of money, and it was kind of frightening actually. Like, I knew if there's something wrong, and if nobody has the private key to that address, then the money is just gone. Like, it's literally like it just disappeared. Like, nobody can change it, nobody can undo this thing. It's permanent. And yeah, it has its place, having like this kind of immutability, but it's like people mess up and then they lose money, and we have to handle this. So is that it? Like, are we just screwed? Is this should we just give up? And no, most definitely not. be.cash has a solution to all of these problems, and I will show you how. So here's a quick video recording of the demo. This is the previous wallet, which didn't allow top up, but now we can do a top up. And yeah, money is sent. I think the internet was a bit quicker here than mine. And yeah, that's the demo. I bought an onion. This is it's not a real transaction, but not a real payment relationship. That's not a real merchant, but it was still fun. Yeah, smart contract. be.cash developed on Bitcoin Cash due to the new opcodes that were enabled a smart contract that allows offline payments. So you don't need to know the current UTXO set. You can just you can just sign something that you don't need any input for that, and then people can redeem immediately. And that makes these payments extremely fast and very reliable, actually. For this, we use a new tool called Iguana. So this allows us to develop really highly optimized smart contracts. So we can do a lot of cool stuff by fiddling around with the stack tree, with the Bitcoin Cash stack. And this gives us much more productivity, actually more security, because it also checks a bunch of stuff like the stack order. And it actually allows us to cram more features into the very tight limits of Bitcoin Cash. And yeah, those are actually the accounts thing. So we are able to put up to 8 devices, now 16, spoiler alert, like we cranked that number up to 16, power of 2. So up to 16 devices can access the smart contract, and this kind of makes it feel like an account. So if you think about it, so you have the blockchain and there's like $100 in your account, and then you have all these different devices that can access this account. Then connecting a device to that thing on the blockchain is kind of like logging in. So you put your public key in the smart contract. You can remove it again later if you log out. And this gives a much more intuitive feeling to what people are used to with accounts, instead of having to handle different wallet seeds and stuff. And like, wallet seeds are the worst, I feel like. Yeah, we actually will be using smart cards for recovery cards, and yeah, one of those can be connected to the account like in this image. Decimal numbers. So be.cash will be spearheading development of an NFT token called cash numbers. This will be on SLP, and basically each number is just an NFT SLP token, and that can be just sent to a different address if you change anything about your wallet, like if you change your public key, if you change devices, if you change the card. And of course the wallet can handle that as it will. And yeah, and this will be much more intuitive for people to use than these long and kind of horrible addresses. Unit of account. Yeah, we've got this really, really cool thing on Bitcoin Cash, which I just love, and it's USDH. It is pegged to the US dollar, and yeah, you can redeem it there, you can mint it there, and yeah, it's really cool, and it allows merchants to actually like do business without having to convert stuff. Taxes get really complicated. And yeah, and the cool thing is, Honest Node actually has an API, and if like we will integrate that into a be.cash, and that actually allows us to have a fully seamless user experience. So you don't have to sign up to an exchange, you don't have to, check market prices. Like, you just need this single app, and you can receive the funds. You can receive the funds onto your app, and actually redeem them onto your own bank account after you've gone through the KYC within the app. And just get the money this way onto your bank account. And I think this is a really, really important step, that we are more or less tightly integrated with the existing financial system. And yeah, it's really cool that Honest Node allows this kind of stuff, and I'm very looking forward to actually integrating it and having people use it on a daily basis. So, no fee. On Bitcoin Cash, the customer currently pays the fee, although very small, but he does. On credit cards, and also on what the smart contract allows for be.cash, is that the merchant actually pays the fees. Merchants are used to that, like they are in the business of receiving money for goods and services. So actually be.cash can be cheaper than credit cards. And yeah, merchants will happily pay the fee for that. So recurrent payments, be.cash does allow that. So right now, the be.cash smart contract basically has two modes. The first mode is just redeeming a card payment. So this card generates a signature. The signature will then be fed into the smart contract, and out will come a bunch of money for a specific payment amount to the merchant. Yes, but it also has a second clause, and that allows to redeem a recurrent payment. So this is also part of the smart contract with a different branch. And yeah, it allows just to say like, okay, yeah, either redeem this or do execute a recurrent payment. And that's already working. And yeah, we're really very excited to use that. And yeah, it'll allow new business models. I actually got a slide on that. So we have subscription-based business models, and also like Patreon style funding. So right now there's like this, okay, how do we fund stuff? And a lot of stuff has to be funded like voluntarily and I think recurrent payments are kind of a very good solution. That, for example, for like a library that does some kind of stuff, then having this Patreon style of funding where you just have like a recurrent payment each month, and the donors don't have to worry about it. The recipients, they don't have to worry about that. That would be very cool. So subscription models, I mentioned YouTube Premium, and I think video platforms would be very happy to make like these premium accounts which don't have ads, which have maybe some premium features like, I don't know, YouTube allows, watching, playing a video while the phone is not unlocked, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And with be.cash, they can finally have like this recurrent, seamless payment mechanism. Also membership fees, for example, gyms and clubs would probably be very happy to have like this recurrent payment mechanism. You would just, tap your card on the recurrent payment thing, and it would give them the permission to withdraw a certain amount. And you can revoke that anytime you want, and that would basically like the canceling of the membership. Patreon style funding, so this could also just be content creators, like people who produce videos and stuff. This is how Patreon does it. You could support developers, as I mentioned, for libraries and stuff. And let's go on to the next one. This is chargebacks. So actually, this is already happening on Bitcoin Cash with local.bitcoin.com, which is a really, really cool system, really cool website. You can trade Bitcoin Cash against fiat anonymously with anyone. It's not technically an exchange. It's more of a Craigslist thing, but you can lock your coins in there. So in an escrow mechanism, It's called a blind non-custodial escrow. And this is actually unregulated in the US. So you don't have to have some kind of money license to do that. You don't have to be an exchange. You don't have to be licensed to do that. You can just do it and execute it, and that's fine. Here's an example of how you can do that in Bitcoin scripts. I think this was written by Gabriel Cardona. Shout out to him. Unfortunately left the Bitcoin Cash community. But yeah, that is very cool. And it would work something like this. So the customer, instead of paying to the merchant directly, they would put the $5 into the escrow smart contract. And then 2 days later, in this example, it would pay the merchant those $5 automatically. However, if the merchant, slipped up and entered the wrong amount, and maybe his wallet is at home, and so it's not at the store, then they call be.cash or the escrow agent, and then the merchant says, oh yeah, I messed up. Customer says, oh yeah, please send this back. be.cash is like, okay, all right, this looks legitimate. The money is sent back, and the customer is not screwed, and then hopefully you can make another transaction where the money isn't deducted like this. And for the and even worse, like if the card gets stolen, and then the thief retrieves a bunch of money, puts it into some address that he has control over, then that would be very bad. What if the police catches them? Then the police can be like, okay, yeah, actually this card was stolen. And even if they don't catch them, and then you report to them, and they are like, okay, yeah, actually this was stolen, this is not a fraud. Then they call be.cash or the escrow agent and be like, okay, can you please return this money? And they would go, okay, yeah, good, you still did it in time. And then you have much more reliability. You don't have these scary situations where you're like, okay, is this actually the right payment? Is there is the right currency? Does it have the right number of zeros? I don't know. So you don't have to worry about that. And it just works. And actually, this is part of the white paper. Like, this is actually so there's the abstract and the first paragraph. The second paragraph says routine escrow mechanism could easily be implemented to protect buyers. And we want to protect buyers because those are our customers. So, big question, where to start with adoption? For this, Bitcoin Cash did kind of a long process. We switched between different places, but we selected Saipan, which is in the Northern Mariana Islands in the USA. Probably heard a lot from Vinamani already about that place. And it has a lot of really cool properties that other places just don't have. So, first of all, it is English and has the US dollar. Like, this might sound trivial for most people who are in the US, but actually for me it's very important that the country speaks English and that they use the US dollar, because then we can just use USDH. We don't have to do any conversions, and we're fine. They have very friendly regulations, so we don't have to hire a bunch of lawyers, spend all our VC funding on lawyers. That is not required there, and that's really cool. They have the crypto frontier community, so they already have like a bunch of people that we can just tap into in the area, and they are already using USDH, and I think they would be very happy to use a card that's kind of cool and use an NFC app that doesn't need internet, and some of the other products that we haven't released yet. Cards are commonplace, so this also might sound obvious, but in many places they just don't use cards. For example, I thought about moving to Ghana, but people use cash there, so it would be kind of a switch over to cards. But for Saipan, they already use cards all the time, so it just would be like replacing that card with this card, so it would be very frictionless. It also has a bridge to Asia, so there are a lot of crypto stuff going on in Asia, so this is very close to there, which is very nice. It has very simple visa. So for me, that's very important, obviously, and because I don't have to worry about getting deported. That wouldn't be too nice. So yeah, and also to get new talent onto the island, that makes it very easy. Because visa in the USA is always this weird question. Yeah, also IRS exempt, so we don't have to pay any federal taxes on the profits, which is really cool. And we can actually have a political impact. So I think some of the governors are elected with pretty small margins. So we can actually change the laws if we have a bunch of people move there into crypto's favor. I think Vin and Alex are already doing a great job there, promoting freedom, promoting crypto as this new kind of industry that could be moving there due to all these things that I just mentioned. Yeah, and also it's just a beautiful place. This I don't know, this just looks amazing, and it's like this the whole year. New Hampshire is nice. I love the Free State Project. And I am German, yes, but it's still kind of cold. Yeah, I don't know if that's too attractive for. It's attractive for many libertarians, but yeah, it would be cool if the island of freedom had nice weather. And just think about having a conference on that island. That would be really cool, where you could just pay with the cards. Could you pay with the point of sale? With the phone? Maybe you can pay with the point of sale. I don't advise it. But yeah, you can use crypto all the time, everywhere. That would be really cool, I think. So yeah, that's be.cash. Thank you very much for your attention. And yeah, I hope I will be able to give you some more updates soon.